All right, hey! Welcome back or good afternoon for your first time viewers of DIY Crafts. This takes place every Wednesday at 3 o'clock. So today we have a really cool craft for you. Last week we were on the dragon book track and we created our own dragon book using a glue gun and some sparkly metallic paint and a very old book. So this week we are going to continue with our summer reading theme of fairy tales and imagining your story and using our imagination. So why not create our very own treasure map? So I'm going to show you guys how to antique paper. So we are going to take this very boring piece of white paper and we're going to turn it into a wonderful, really cool, are you ready? Treasure map that looks really antique-y, looks like we dug it up, looks like we're gonna follow the road to figure out where the buried treasure really is. So if you take a look at this map, it is indeed the map of, there we go, Middle Earth from the Lord of the Rings, because why not? And it's got burn holes in it, looks like someone was smoking a cigar while trying to read it. It's very yellowed and the edges are frayed and burnt and crunchy and it's wrinkly and it's super fragile. So it's almost like you want to protect it. You're afraid you're going to rip it apart. So that's the effect we're going for today. And I'm going to show you how to do this. So if you are ready, the things that you'll need a treasure map. So you have your option. You can create your own treasure map by drawing your own treasure map and using your artistic skills, much like Tolkien did, this map he created with all the fancy mountains and the cute little trees and Mordor down here. Or if you are not in the mood to draw, you can most definitely just print this. There are so many awesome maps online. You can even Google image search a treasure map and print out your very own treasure map with the X marks the spot and everything. So after you have your map, you're going to need a cup of tea, and you should have a cup of tea for drinking as well, because if you're going to use tea, you might as well have a cup of tea as well. Alright, so I have my cup of tea. I have the grounds in here as well. I want both. And then I have a baking sheet. So, first step, you're going to do the unthinkable. You're going to take your treasure map and you're going to crinkle it up into a bunch up ball, real tight. And then you're going to open it up very carefully. If you rip it, it's totally okay. It'll just add to the awesomeness of it. So, once you have it all crinkled and really wrinkled and ugly looking, you're going to go ahead and you're going to put it on your sheet pan. And you're going to kind of lay it as flat as you possibly can. And then you're going to take your tea and you're going to go ahead and pour it right on there. And your tea is going to be super dark. So you can do this with tea or coffee. It is totally up to you. But as we see here, my map is already looking pretty ugly. And I'm just going to show you the difference between the tea and the regular. See, it's already starting to give it that yellow look. So the tea is of your choice. I am personally using Thai tea because it's probably one of my favorite teas to drink. And it has this wonderful orange stain look to it. But black tea will work, green tea will work. Pretty much pick your pleasure, any of those will work. And then you're just going to take a paintbrush and you're going to kind of move the tea around. So if you have the grounds, that's perfect. That's actually really going to help. It's going to make dark spots in some places and lighter spots in other places. So I'm going to put this down for a second. If you don't want to use the paintbrush, you can kind of just take your tea and move it around. And let me take some of my hot tea. Coffee works the same. It gives it a little bit of a lighter effect. I am going for the really dark, really antique-y, really old look. So when I hold the map up, you can see that it's already starting to yellow, and it's only been in there for about 2 seconds. So the longer you leave it in, the more antique-y it's going to look. Especially if you take some of those tea grounds and you spread it over your map. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue soaking this. Once you have it soaked all the way, and you really like the way that it looks, like so. Looking pretty cool, pretty antique-y. I'm liking it. You're going to take it off the sheet pan, drain the excess tea in your sink, or the trash if you don't want to dump the grounds down your sink, which I don't entirely advise. And then you're going to take your sheet pan and you're going to put it into an oven that you've set to the lowest setting possible. For me, my oven goes to low. That's all it says. And then above that is 150. So you want it to be between 150 and 200 degrees, as low as you can really go. And you're gonna put it in your oven and keep an eye on it, because obviously you don't want it going up into flames. And as the tea dries out of the paper, the edges are gonna curl, and it's gonna create that cool antique-y look. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna put this in the oven, and we're gonna see what it looks like. Alrighty, so once we put this in the oven, when we take it out, this is what it looks like. So the oven actually at 200 degrees gives it a natural burned look on the edges. The edges dry much faster than the middle. So you can take a look. Pretty awesome. And then if you want, when you put it in the oven, if you crinkle up some of the pages on that sheet pan and you let it dry with wrinkles in it, so you don't flatten it entirely, it'll give it that really, really, really antique-y look here. And that's what I was going for. So you can see it's not flat in any way. Whereas this one is a little bit more flat, but it's still got those wrinkles in it like I did. So if you want to go even more crazy with this and you want to make it even more antique-y, keep that sheet pan out, take a lighter, and just go ahead and burn the edges. So burn the edges even more than what they're already burned. If you feel more comfortable, you can definitely do this outside. And then as this dries, I get that really, really, really burnt edge look. And I can get even fancier if I want. If I want to be the pyromaniac that I know is in me somewhere, I can actually just kind of crinkle up a little bit in the middle here and burn that as well. And wait for it. And I can create holes in my map. Or you can create holes in your map when it's still wet. But there are plenty of holes in here to go. Except this hole looks like someone actually left their cigarette on it or their cigar on it and ta-da, it caught on fire. So you can keep going crazy as you want. Light the ends on fire. If you want to, you can tear the ends a little bit to fray them. So you might put a tear here. You might take a chunk out here. Okay, and see how that doesn't really look too authentic? You can go ahead and light that on fire as well. You can get it to give you that frayed edge look. Alrighty, so there you have it. All you have to do to create your own buried treasure map or your really authentic looking Tolkien Middle Earth map is soak it in some tea or some coffee, your choice, and then put it in the oven, 200 degrees or less, for about 5 minutes. When you take it out, it should be nice and crunchy and dry, and the edges should naturally give you that darkened look, as you can see here. And then if you want to make it even more authentic, go ahead and burn some holes in it. Just be careful, adult supervision if you're using this with children. And go ahead and just burn it and have fun with it. The more you mess around with it, the more authentic it looks. If you want, once you're done with it, you can crinkle this up again and kind of wrinkle it again. Just be careful because at this point it's super fragile, and then it's going to give you that even more authentic look. I would even suggest that you fold it like a map would look like and give it those like authentic, this has been in my pocket for 100 years, or I just pulled it off a skeleton and ta-da, I'm gonna go down and try and find where X marks the spot, and hopefully there's treasure at the end. So if you fold it in half like that, it looks really, really cool. Alright, so that is how you make your very own treasure map. I hope that you guys do this at home, and if you do, you share it. This is also a really, really cool way to make old antique look journals or old book pages or diaries or something along the lines of that. So again, if you do this at home, show me how it comes out. I would be excited to see how it looks. By all means, take a look at how antique that is. We just went from very, very white paper to making it look super antiqued, and you can tell by looking at the back as well. It's all burnt, it looks all discolored, looks like it got a lot of water damage, which is what we want in an authentic treasure map. So if you do this at home, show me what it is, show me how it looks, and hopefully you guys do it. And if not, I'll see you all next week for our next craft. Till then.